All right, welcome, everybody to Knuckle Sandwich MMA with my faithful companion Nando over here. We've been waiting. I know Nando has been talking about this card for a long time, even before I think the card materialized. He was talking about, dreaming about the return of Jon Jones, and it's finally here, you guys. So we got a lot to cover. We want to welcome you guys to Knuckle Sandwich MMA. And we're going to go over this card. It's a big card. It's stacked from top to bottom. Early prelims going on, all kinds of stuff going on. And here's the thing, Nando, we could have been there. It's in Vegas, man.
Yeah.
Of course, if you had $1,500 for tickets, that'd be all right.
Yeah.
So I think, but it's in Vegas, taking place in Vegas this Saturday. And we are looking so forward to it. It is UFC 285. Nando, what do you got to say to our viewers before we begin?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I mean, I was looking at the prelims, and that could be a fight night to itself. You know what I mean? Any one of these fights could headline a pay-per-view. These are great fights. The return of the GOAT, Islam, Alex, I mean, like Jon Jones said, it's sweet, and you guys need to try to be the GOAT, but I want to be the greatest ever.
I saw that. That was pretty good. Jon Jones, good media day. Okay, so let's begin with the early prelims. Guys, we're going to just kind of zip through the early prelims because we have so much to cover today, and we want to make sure we get it all in. So here we go. For very first fight of the night, we have a lightweight bout, Esteban Ribovich versus Loic Radzabov. And do you have anything on this one, Nando?
Yeah. Okay, Esteban, his name is Gringo. He's 11-0, contenders, Nova Uniao, I think that's how you say it. Famous fight team. Loyok Jagger Paul is 16-4, 3 of 5. He's from Akbar MMA, and this is also his debut.
All right, excellent. Next up, we have a bantamweight bout, and we've got Damon Blackshear versus Farid Basharat. What do you got on this one?
Damien the Monster is 12-4. He's 4-0-1. He had a no contest. He's Jackson Winklejohn. His first fight was a draw. Wait, no, his this is his first fight, and the last one was a draw. Fahid Bashahart is 25, 9-0 London Shoot Fighters, and he's also from Contenders. Like Dana White was saying before, all these fight cards, he's got tons of contender guys on it now. That's the next big thing.
Yeah, and those contender fights, man, they're always exciting. I don't think I've seen a boring one in the last.
Yeah, we've only seen one fighter from last year's Ultimate Fighter fight this year.
Wow.
That was last week.
Okay, next up we have the women's strawweight bout. We got the perennial Jessica Penne. She's been with the UFC organization for a number of years. And then we got Tabitha Ricci, who is like a stick of dynamite, man. And what do you got on this one?
Jessica Penne is 40, 14-6, 2 of 5, Alliance MMA. Her last fight was a loss. Tabitha Ricci is 28, 7-1, 4 of 5, Brazilian Thai team, 2-fight win streak, and her nickname is the Baby Shark because she attacks.
Yeah, and she's a short one. She's only 5'1". So
oh, really?
Yeah, Jessica Penne has got 6-inch reach advantage on with the arms, and then she's got a 2-inch leg advantage reach.
She might be one of the oldest women fighters right now because last week was at Landsberg, I think, retired.
Yep. All right, next up we have a bantamweight bout. We have Mana Martinez. I like this kid. I like his style. He's a pretty brave. He doesn't look that tough, but he's tough, man. And he's going to be fighting Cameron Saman. And what do you got on this one?
Uh, Mana Boy 26, 10-3, 4-5. Glory MMA. He has a loss. Cameron is 22, 7-0. Team Sit Contenders. It still says that he's from Glory, and that was James Krause's team. So I couldn't find if he's not still there, or maybe James Krause is not coaching there anymore. But it does show.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. I don't know if the gym shut down or what happened there, but we should investigate that, see what's going on. That'd be interesting to find out. All right, next up on the to hit the main fight of the early prelims, we have Ian Machado Gary versus Song Kenan. And Ian is one of these dudes. It's a welterweight bout, by the way. He's one of these dudes that he's a rising star, quick rising star. He's got a great fighting technique, very exciting to watch. I don't think I've seen Song Kenan fight yet. I could be wrong, but he's not super familiar with me. But Ian always brings it. He's a super exciting fighter from Ireland. And what do you got on this guy?
Ian is fighting for Sanford MMA right now. He's 10-0. Keenan is 32, 10-6, 3-5. Jackson Winklejohn, his last fight was a loss.
So Jackson Winklejohn hasn't had a lot of coverage lately.
No, I mean, they have a lot of people fighting, but they don't have the big stars anymore.
Yeah, they left. Yeah, they left. Okay, we're going to move up to the prelims now. And this prelim card is stacked, bro. It is stacked. Let's delve into this, okay? As you can tell, guys, Nando and I are super excited. This is a great card, man. It's going to be, and I hope it lives up to the hype, okay? I really hope it lives up to the hype. Sometimes those overhyped cards, they fall flat, but I can't see this happening. There's too many stacked fights here for that to happen. So we begin with the first fight of the prelims. We've got a middleweight bout, Julian Marquez versus Marc-Andre Barreau. What do you got on that?
Julian is 32, 9-3. Glory MMA also lost. He has a win over Sam Alvey. Mark is 14-6, 3 of 5.
You gotta go there, bro. Boy, you gotta go there.
I always gotta bring up. And he has a loss to Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez is starting to do well. So this is gonna be an interesting fight. You know, are we picking from the prelims?
Yeah, let's start picking on the prelims.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Julian.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Barreau.
Okay.
Julian's a good fighter, though.
Yes.
All right, let's go up to the next one. We got a women's flyweight bout coming up. We got Vivian Araujo versus Amanda Ribas. This is a coin flip. I'm not kidding you, man. Both of these fighters are got some talent, and it's going to be an exciting fight. This one is not going to be a boring fight. What you got on it?
Vivian is 36. She's 11-4, 3 of the last 5. Serato MMA. She has her last fight was a loss. She lost to Alexa Grasso. Her and Amanda both lost to Caitlin Cohagen. Amanda Ribas is 29, 10-3, 3 of 5. Marcelo Ribas MMA. And they're basically 8-9. Vivian is 8 and Ribas is 9. And this is going to be a really, really close fight. I'm going to go with Ribas because I think Ribas is a little more aggressive. But like you said, it's a coin flip. What do you think?
I gotta agree with you on this one. I want to also go with Ribas on this one. I do think they're both really tough. I wouldn't be surprised, who actually wins, but I like Ribas's style. I like her persona. I like the way she carries herself, and you just don't hear much about Vivian. and how she approaches the mic. And it's not just that, but it's the overall excitement of being a fighter. You know what I mean? And you get that from Amanda Ribas because of the way she talks. So I like that. It means a lot. So we move up. Oh, here we go, man. Ooh, this is going to be a tough pick for me, Nando. We've got a middleweight bout with Derek Brunson versus Dricus du Plessis. And Derek, at one point, he said he was retiring. And I don't know if he's still doing that or not. I don't know if he's still retiring because from what I understand, he had one fight left on his contract. And this may be it right here, but I haven't heard anything. Okay, go ahead. What you got on this?
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Derek is ranked 5th right now. He's 39, 23-8, 405 Sanford MMA. He lost to Jared Cannonier, but then he had like 3-fight winning streak before that. He has great head movement, wrestling, ground and pound. Du Plessis is 29, 18-10, 3-fight winning streak, kickboxing. He's a 2nd-degree black belt in kickboxing. He has wins over Darren Till. Great kickboxing left to right. Here's going to be the basically what's going to dictate is if Derek Brunson can get those punches in, push him back against the cage, take him down, let him back up, and continue hitting him and kind of diminish his confidence in this fight. If he lets Du Plessis have confidence and dictate the way he goes, Du Plessis might knock him out. I mean, he's got a great style. He's got more of like a northern Dutch kickboxing style, not that Muay Thai. He has the more like movement left to right, kind of like Ciryl Gane's kickboxing style. So it's going to be very interesting. I'll let you go first, and then we'll discuss it, and then we'll pick.
Well, I like your analysis of the fight. Here's my analysis. Derek Brunson, when he throws those lunging punches, he has a lot of distance, man. He covers a lot of distance. Of course, it leaves him open, but I don't see Du Plessis as a super serious counter puncher. He's more of a I stalk and I move forward. And I agree. If Brunson can get him on the back foot with that reach and the way that he lunges forward, he's adding 8-10 inches to his reach. He really is if you watch him. And the other thing too, though, if he gets caught, Brunson tends to turtle up a little bit too. If he gets hurt, he really turtles up and tries to escape. So if Du Plessis can cut off that, if he hurts him and cuts off the cage, Brunson's in trouble. Again, I think also Brunson can wear down Du Plessis' gas tank if he gets him on the ground and makes him work really hard to get up, or even presses him against the cage. I'm not sure on Du Plessis' elbows from the cage and in a tight, clinch style fight. I'm not sure about that yet. I haven't seen enough to say, yeah, he's going to be popping elbows off of Brunson's head. But this one is also, for me, it's a toss-up too. It's kind of like the Ribas fight. Either one of these guys can win. So here's my take. This is why I'm picking who I'm picking. Okay. I'm going to pick Du Plessis because I really like his style. He's got a lot of, he's brave. He doesn't shrink when he gets hurt. But I also, if this is Brunson's last fight, what has he got to prove, win or lose? He really doesn't. He wants to go out as a winner, I'm sure. But if he doesn't, so I think Du Plessis has got more heart for this fight than I would say Brunson. That's my opinion. What do you got?
I think Brunson I don't think he should retire. I think he still has a chance. Stuff is moving around. If Piera beats the style bender, then that whole weight class is going to be exactly what Jon Jones said about the lightweight. Belts are changing left and right. People are getting belts, they're losing belts, they're getting belts. And then I think Israel will go up probably. I think he's too big to go down. So if I was him, if I win this fight, then I guess look, maybe free agency, but I don't. It depends if he wants to make money but not fight the greatest right now. You know, he could go to PFL. He can probably win a title and get $1 million. But I'm gonna go with Derek Brunson. I think he's gonna get him against. I'm thinking he's gonna get him against the cage, and he's gonna wear him down. He's got to stick to this game plan, though, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay, okay, that's good.
You don't believe me?
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm just saying I like that we're picking opposites for very good reasons on both ends. All right. So let's move on. Wow, let's go fight. Now, this one is a bantamweight bout, and this is Cody Garbrandt versus Trevin Jones. This is a late replacement. Well, not super late, but a late replacement for Cody Garbrandt. Now, I did watch before you go. Well, go into the stats first, and then we'll discuss this fight.
And you want to talk about the interview, about what he said?
Yeah.
Okay, so Cody No Love is 31, 12-5, one of the last 6. He's team alpha male, but he went to Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. That's where he is right now. He had a loss to Kai Kara France and Rob Font. That's nothing to hang your head about. At this time right now, it's his restart. You know, he had a wrestling background, and he got with Extreme Couture, which has like Yuri, Ciryl Gane went there. A bunch of Misha Tate was there. Trevin Jones, his nickname is 5-star. He's 32, 13 and 9. He's 1-3-1 of the last 5. Vidia, Brazil, black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He likes the pressure, looking to stand up and bang with Cody Garbrandt. Now, say what you were going to say, and then we'll kind of break down this fight.
Okay. So I saw the Garbrandt interview, and to be honest with you, for me, I'm kind of worried for him. You know, he seemed like he was trying to be cool and say all the right things, but just beneath the surface, he looked like he's a guy on the edge, man. You know, he's talking about some very personal things in the interview of going through a divorce, you know, moving, changing, leaving Team Alpha Male. I'm sure that was hard for him because he's the one that, you know, said for years, you know, these are my family and so on and so forth. But if you keep losing, you got to change up something, right?
Yes.
Because it's his career. Team Alpha Male does not pay his salary, right? He has to go out and he's a prize fighter, and he's got to go out and fight. And so he had to do the things that he had to do, going through all these things. But the thing that has always haunted Cody Garbrandt, and again, this is just my personal opinion, okay? The thing that's always haunted him and that's always hurt him is his ego.
Yes.
Got a big ego, because when he starts winning, he gets really cocky, drops his hands, does some things, and gets knocked the freak out. You know, and it always happens. You know, the time he did it the most was when he beat Dominic Cruz, and he's dancing and doing the robot and doing all this stuff. That is still there, and hopefully with this new gym with Team Couture, they have to dial that back. But he just seemed like just beneath the surface, man. Like, you know, he's just on the precipice. I don't know. It was a very strange thing. He didn't appear that as he has in the past. Like I said, he said all the right things, but he seemed just like on the edge, man. Like he could just blow a fuse and start swinging with this Trevin Jones, you know, and get clocked on that chin again. Because once you start getting knocked out that way, you don't recover from that stuff. That's there. That's always there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's very. I like what you said. I think it's very similar to Derek Lewis in the sense that I think he needs to fight. I mean, I think he needs the money, you know, and I think he needs to get back to wrestling. He needs to dial in what he has, and try to fight a little more conservative, but he's got what it takes to knock him out. He's got to pick his
Yeah.
shots, and he's got to not go in there, swing for the fences. He's got to kind of, and the problem with these younger weight classes, and what Jon Jones said going up to a higher weight class, is your like longevity in these smaller weight classes is a lot smaller because of the athleticness of everybody, because those younger weight classes are well, not the smaller weight classes are a younger weight class game.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys don't last very, very long.
Yeah.
I think he has a chance. I think that he I don't know. I think he wins this fight, and if I was him, I'd ask for Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
That's
They
a
asked-
fight that he could win.
Somebody in the interview asked him about that.
Yeah, and that's a fight he can win. And then if he wants to go towards the title, he should, but he should stick with his team and kind of pick his fights right now. Because if he gets in there and then he calls someone big, Sean O'Malley, whatever, Sean O'Malley will smoke him. And that'll be the end of his career. Chico Vera, all those people. So I don't know a ton about Trevin Jones. That's the hard thing, is Trevin Jones is good and he has all the tools to win. And Cody Garbrandt, it's all up here. He can win. He can beat anybody, but is everything there?
It is true. So for me, as far as Trevin Jones goes, because I want to give him a little bit of shine as well, is this is a big fight for him. If he beats Cody Garbrandt, it doesn't matter the skid that Cody Garbrandt's on. That doesn't matter. It's the Cody Garbrandt brand.
Name.
That's what he is fighting. It's not the man, it's the brand. Okay. And I just coined that, by the way. It's not the man, it's the brand. but that's what I believe, because if he can beat, especially if he knocks out Cody Garbrandt, that's probably going to be the end of Cody. I mean, Dana said he Cody can fight as long as he wants because he brings eyeballs, he puts butts in seats regardless. He does. He's an exciting guy to watch.
And it's,
if Jones can beat him, and especially if he knocks him out, that's going to raise Jones's stock quite a bit,
Yeah, and he beat an ex-champion.
Yeah, exactly. He's the next champion. You cannot take away. Once you're a champ, you're always a champ. You can't take that away. I have high hopes for Cody. He stuffed Dominic Cruz, and when they fought, he stuffed those takedown attempts really well. And if he does, like you say, resort to mix some wrestling up in there with him, and get Jones on the ground. Cody's he's still fast. He's still lightning fast. He doesn't need to worry about that. But if he uses his other tools and not get caught in a fisticuff fight with Trevin Jones and start swinging from the fences, like you said, both of these guys, he's the one that's going to get caught, man. He always does. So he needs to fight smart. But we've spent enough time on that fight. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Cody. I want him to win so bad.
And I'm gonna go with Cody too, because I want him to win. Nothing against Trevin Jones. I think he's a great fighter. It's nothing against him. It is the story that Cody Garbrandt has that I think needs to continue in the UFC. And I think making a comeback would be amazing, especially if he beats his demons. If he can beat those demons, right? All right. Now we got one of the most talked about fights on this card. On the main card, we have Bo Nickel and Jamie Pickett fighting at middleweight. And what do you got on this one?
Okay, but we'll start with Jamie Pickett, the Night Wolf, 34, 13-8, 205. He's from Hit Pit MMA. 2 losses. He's a hard puncher, but he's wide open. Now, Bo Nickel is 27, 3-0, American Top Team. He was a Contender alumni. The thing with him, and he had 2 fights, and then they let him in. But thing with this is he has such great wrestling, but like everybody's so like this is the great American hope in wrestling. Everybody's like, we're all on his shoulders. Here's the thing, he is still young. I think he wins this fight, but he needs to like you said in the interview, I don't want to like surge right to the top because I know that I need to get more fights in there. And you know, it's like the boxing recipe. Get him in with a southpaw, get him in with another wrestler, get him in with a kickboxer, get him in with these people and build the brand of him because he's a great fighter. He has everything it takes. It's just he needs the experience, but he's coming from one of the greatest wrestling college teams. Was it Penn State that he's from?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Nittany Lions. It's gonna be very interesting. I think he goes in there, and I think he wants. Here's the problem with wrestlers: they go in there and they get love with their hands, and then they get wide open and do stuff they would never do in wrestling and get knocked out. So he needs to go in there, right to him, hit him, take him down, and then ground and pound. That is his recipe for success. What do you think?
I agree with you. There's a couple of things that I would say. First of all, Jamie Pickett does have a chance to win this fight. It's a smaller chance. I do have to admit. You know, it's almost like they're picking Bo Nickel to win. You know, because he's a shooting star. But if Pickett can spoil the party, okay, that's not going to hurt Bo Nickel's stock at all, in my opinion. Okay, because of the push that they're giving to him. If Pickett wins, though, it's going to improve his standing, regardless if he's only been in the UFC 2 or 3 fights. It's not going to matter because of the star power Bo Nickel has. So Pickett has a lot to gain from this win if he can win. So if he comes out smart and he can win this fight, he's going to look really, really good as the star killer, whatever you want to call him. That's what they're going to name him. Bo Nickel, on the other hand, there's a lot more to say about him, not just because of his wrestling legacy at Penn State, but the dude is calm. The bright lights don't faze him because he's already been there. He's, you know, the bright lights of Penn State, of all of these championships, one after the other, you know, that's not going to bother him at all. I don't think he's going to walk out into the T-Mobile Arena and go, you know, and get starstruck.
What are the odds on this fight?
The odds are, there's no odds.
Oh, what?
The odds.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to go ahead and pick Bo Nickel because I think it's kind of obvious with the wrestling pedigree. Because if he gets Jamie Pickett down, Pickett's not getting back up. I don't see it. He's too good of a grappler, too good of a, you know, and his striking is improving too. So I don't know that he'll fall in love with that. I think if he gets stung with a punch, he'll go right to the ground, and then that'll be that.
Yeah, I'm also going with Bo Nickel. I think that this is they picked this guy just for him. It's going to be interesting who they pick next, but I think one more fighter, and then they're going to give him like a bigger name, somebody like a journeyman.
Well, he's predicting himself Hamzat sometime this year.
And I don't know. I don't think they should do that unless it's for a title. Don't get rid of your 2 biggest prospects right now.
That's true. Good business sense.
Right?
Yeah, it's good business sense. All right, let's move on. Next up with another good fight. Oh my goodness, this is a lightweight bout. Mateusz Gamrot versus Jalen Turner. And this one, to me, again, another freaking toss-up. I'm having a hard time with that one, man, especially after watching Jalen Turner's his press conference. He looks like he's pretty confident on this one. He doesn't seem nervous to me at all. What you got?
Okay, Gamrot is ranked 7th. He's 32, 21-2, 4-5 American top team power punches. He lost to Dariush, but Dariush is on the top of the
Food
right now. Short and stocky American wrestling style. He's a Polish wrestling champion. He has a style similar to like a Sean Shirk, good punches, stocky kicks because he's not like a big guy. Jalen Turner, the Tarantula, is ranked 10th, 27. He's 13-5, 5-fight win streak. He's from Adrenaline MMA, long fighter. He likes his distance. He's a hard hitter. He needs to keep this standing and kind of dictate where this fight goes. I think Gamrot is going to try to pressure him and try to make this into like a Sean Shirk fight where he's just going to wrestle him and try to ground and pound him and just put nothing but pressure. And Gamrot is a hard guy. He lost to Dariush, but like I said, Dariush is probably going to be fighting for the title later this year. I would say
he needs to be.
Yeah, I think Jalen Turner. Gosh, I think I'm going to go with Jalen Turner. I think he has the momentum, and I think he's gonna see what Dariush did, which is be a longer fighter. Don't let him take you down. Every time he comes, stuff him or knee him to the body and slow down that gas tank.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the reach. Jalen Turner has a 6.5-inch reach over Gamrot, and he's got a 7-inch reach on the legs. So if he can keep him at bay, he'll pick him apart. He'll pick Gamrot apart. If Gamrot pushes him against the cage, Jalen has some good clinch work, but he's so long. His arms are so long. If he's trying to get elbows in there to get Gamrot off of him, it's going to be tough because his arms are freaking long, and Gamrot's going to be in really, really tight with that, that head tucked under his chin, and it's going to be hard to get him off of him. So I think if Jalen can to swing left and right and get out of the way without, when Gamrot rushes to push him against the cage and he keeps evading him and sidestepping him, he'll do very well. But if Gamrot gets him, he's relentless. And Jalen doesn't want to go on the ground with him. I don't think, I don't think he wants to go on the ground with him. But he could. Does he have any submissions, Jalen, on your record?
I don't know. No, I didn't write down that. I think he might have some. I didn't write down that
because I don't recall any, but I haven't seen every single one of his fights. But I don't recall him, doing a triangle choke or anything like that on his resume. That's why I think it's going to be dangerous if Gamrot gets him on the ground. But I'm going to go with you because I like Jalen Turner. I'm going to pick him as well.
He has a submission against Brooke Weaver and Urolis Medic. So that's 2 fights away.
Okay. That gives me a little more confidence.
Yeah, he has a 2 rear naked chokes.
Okay, well, that gives me more confidence in picking him then. Thank you for that info. All right, next up we have a welterweight bout, and we've got Jeff Neal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Is that how you say it? Rakhmonov. Yeah, Shavkat Rakhmonov. There we go. I got it. And what do you got on this one?
Okay, Hands of Steel. Jeff Neal is ranked 7th right now. He's 32, 15-4, 3 of 5, Fortis MMA, 2-fight win streak, Santiago Ponzinibbio and Vicente Lucas. He has a loss to Neil Magny and Wonderboy. Nice punches, great head movement. Rachmanov is ranked 10th, the Nomad. He's 28, 16-0. Kazakhstan top team. Great kicks, stand straight, jabs to like spinning kicks. He has a great guillotine. Thing about Rachmanov is, I mean, he's another person that people are scared of. He's coming up. He's got great, style. He does punch and then he kicks. I think Gio Neal is a little too experienced for that. But you never know. This is going to be very interesting because Neal wants to win this. It will be a big feather in his hat, and it will get him closer to, the title. But Rachmanov is like coming off of so much steam, and it's a must win for both of them. I mean, it's not the end of either one of their careers, but it's going to catapult them into that top 5. I think either one, even though he's ranked 10th and 7th, I think this fight will catapult either one of them into like a top 5 or maybe a 6. Okay. I'm going to go with the hype train, Rachmanov.
All right, so you got, you're going with the safe pick. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
You're the guy. You're the underdog guy. What happened?
Yeah. I don't know. I like Rachmanov. I like the way he fights.
I do too. I like both of them, and I don't blame you. I'm also gonna pick Rachmaninoff.
Okay, see,
dude, he's so good. He doesn't. He always moves forward. Jeff Neal moves forward too, and that you're gonna have this clash in the center of the octagon. And one of these guys, they're gonna have to get hurt before they start stepping back. Get caught.
You think this goes to decision, or you think one of them loses?
No, this one's gonna end before this ain't going to the decision.
You don't think so? Okay.
I don't see it. I see. I like Jeff Neal, and his background. I don't know much about Rachmaninov's background. I know you say he comes from Kazakhstan, but Jeff Neal, I mean, the dude was working like at a Chili's restaurant. He was a server while he was still a UFC fighter in the early days, and now he's starting to make his bones. And I like that. I like that he came from, but of course, Rachmaninoff may have, come from a one room house, on the country hillside, poor as a church mouse. I don't know. That's not necessarily why I like or dislike people, but it's just shows that these guys come up from nothing and become these premier athletes. It's just an amazing story. So, my heart is with Jeff Neal, as I always say, but my money and my mind is with Rachmaninoff, because I just can't see a way that he loses. I just can't. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So now we're down. You guys, thank you for sticking with us. By the way, don't forget, like, subscribe, and share Knuckle Sandwich MMA, our content. There you go. And we'd love to, keep doing these things. And so thank you for watching. Okay, so we've got 2 title fights, my friend, and I want to go into depth on these 2 because there's so much to talk about. We have the women's flyweight title bout with the champion, Valentina Shevchenko, versus the number 6 seed, Alexa Grasso. What do you got on this one?
So the Bullet is 34. Valentina is 23-3. 9-fight win streak, Tiger Muay Thai. She's getting better and better. She needs this fight. I mean, she's the champion. She's always 9, but she needs a fight to set the tone, to let everybody know that her name wasn't Tatiana. What was her name? Santos.
Yeah.
That she lost to. That was a fluke. She wasn't feeling well or whatever her excuses, but she needs to get there and win this fight. Now Grasso has a lot to make up. I mean, she's ranked 6, she's 29, 15-3, 4-5, 4-fight winning streak, Lobo Gym. She has losses to Carlo Esparza and Tatiana Suarez. 4-fight winning streak. She's small and scrappy, but here's the thing. What I don't like, she has 2 losses to 2 great wrestlers. And when someone's bigger than her and they muscle her around, she stays in it, but she can't do the things in between rounds to like fix. And I think Valentina is gonna come to her like a sharpshooter. She's gonna push her. She's gonna kick her. She likes to do that spin, the punches, spinning kick right to the stomach. You know, she's an assassin in a lot of ways, and she's only getting better and better. She's going to more and more camps. Like me and you were talking. This is a tough fight for Grasso. I mean, she's Mexican descent. I like all that, but facts are facts, man. She's got a tough, you know. I wouldn't be. Yeah, I guess I'd be super surprised if she won, but I think this is Valentina's fight. She needs there needs to be a little bit more from Grasso. What do you think?
Well, I agree with that analysis. Pretty spot on. The odds are -730 for Shevchenko and a +530 for Grasso. So that tells you a lot right there of what the betting public thinks. Now, I did like, I watched Grasso do a press conference, and she said, they asked her, hey, you're fighting for your country's behind you. What would it be like to be the first Mexican born female champion, that kind of a thing. And she goes, and I thought that was kind of an unfair question from the reporters, because that put extra pressure on her, because you could see her face change. She was like, yeah, that would be really good. But and she's thinking about that now. And so, but I don't see, Grasso has great striking, but as you said, you put it great, Valentina is an assassin, and she's good everywhere. The thing that I was watching, we talked about earlier, is these different camps. She was in a Japanese camp learning this new fighting technique, and she's been to Taiwan and to Malaysia and all these different places, man, just harnering all these techniques and these philosophies and things like that when it comes to fight. And she, even though she doesn't fight that often, she's just constantly building up her tools and her repertoire of everything, knowledge, IQ, all of this stuff. And I think she's going to be champ for a long time, man. I don't see Grasso. I think Valentina's going to run through her. I like Grasso. I think she's tough as nails, but she ain't Valentina tough. And I coined that too. She ain't Valentina tough.
Oh God. Yeah, but I think we're both going for Valentina, right? Or is that safe to say?
That's safe to say.
Okay, so
what I hope, this is what I really hope. I hope it's a 5-rounder. I really do. I hope it's a 5-rounder. Because if that's the case, because Valentina went 5 rounds before with what was her name that you're Santos.
Santos. I forget what her first name was. I want to say
Talia Santos.
Yeah, Talia Santos. Yeah.
But, and then she took her to 5 rounds. And they went into deep waters. But I just don't think Grasso has the ground game to hang with her. I think
she also doesn't have the size. Santos had the size. It's a little tougher for Valentina to take her down. And she was like a really high level shoot boxing kickboxer. It's not not Blanchfield. Grasso is well rounded, but she needs something that's gonna like be that thing that she's better. And she's not better than Valentina at anything. She might. I mean, you never know. I don't want to, because this is one of my favorite fighters. I don't want to put, but Matt Serra did win the title.
Yeah. Well,
I love Matt Serra.
Here's my prediction. If Grasso wins, I'm going to tell you exactly how she's going to win. You ready?
Okay. I'm going to write it down.
She's going to win by a rear naked choke.
Okay.
If she's quick enough to get Valentina's back and sink in that arm, she's not letting go. She'll win by a rear naked choke. The odds are tremendous that will happen. But if she wins, that's how I say she's going to win.
But I don't see her getting to her back. I see a guillotine more than a rear naked choke.
Okay. Now we are at the main fight of the whole shebang. We've got the heavyweight title bout, which is vacated by Francis Ngannou, who is now a free agent and looking to get into the boxing realm. But we have two of the heaviest hitters of the heavy hitters, and that is Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane. What do you got?
Okay, so Jon Jones is 35. He was on a 3-fight winning streak. This is his debut at heavyweight. He fights for Fight Ready now with Henry Cejudo in that camp. He's 26-1, 4-0-1, the no contest to DC. But if the rules were now, that would just be 5-0. So, and then Ciryl Gane is 32, 11-1. His only loss was to Francis. He's MMA Factory. His last win was Tai Tuivasa. But here's the thing. He has great movement. What I didn't like, he said, is, I don't train or I don't do anything until I have a fight. As soon as he fought Francis, I would be, I thought about it a lot. If I was him, I would have went to TriStar, Firas Zahabi, and I would have had Firas Zahabi get an idea of what we need to do. He also speaks fluent French, and it would have been a perfect match for him. And I think he needs to I think he's done. That camp is good, but, he's came in here with the same style for the last 3 years. He needs to add stuff, and I think because the heavyweight division was all like kind of, you have one style and that's what you have, but you're fighting a guy from a lower weight class that has basically everything. He was Jackson Winklejohn. Now he's with Fight Ready, which is Henry Cejudo, and Henry Cejudo doesn't take crap, dude. He's a guy from that wrestling background. He has great, he wants to fight a perfect fight. Don't put yourself in stuff that you don't want to do. And that's what Demetrius Johnson said about him. Demetrius Johnson fought him and went to him and learned from him again for ONE FC. I think Jon sounds a little cocky. Sounds like, there's nothing Ciryl Gane can do. I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to slam him. He's not going to be able to get up. I'm going to wrestle him. I'm going to hurt him, and I'm going to make him get up. And Ciryl Gane got taken down by Francis, and everybody says, Francis is a great fighter. I mean, it wasn't great what Francis looked like. I mean, wrestling. It was just because it was awful wrestling. But but he did take him down. They were both exhausted at the end of the fight.
That's what matters, right? Getting them down.
Yeah. they're both exhausted. John's not going to be exhausted. He's taken 3 years. He's convinced even me that now he knows exactly what he's doing, And Ciryl Gane doesn't have that power punching. He's going to go left to right. But, Jon Jones, the other thing about Jon Jones, I don't want to call him a dirty fighter, but he likes those oblique kicks. And if he starts kicking that knee of Ciryl Gane's done. He's going to be in no man's land. It's going to go 3 rounds unless John wants to hurt him longer. So,
Sounds like you got your pick.
I got my pick. I asked a coworker the other day, I go, do you think Ciryl Gane has more than a 2% chance of 100 to win this fight? Yeah, I think he's got like 10%. 10%. I think Alexa Grasso has a better chance of winning.
Oh my God.
I do. I don't. Ciryl Gane, winning this, but there has to be, he's playing it really cool. Like, I got all these tools. He's there has to be something, that he's planning on doing. He's got to take out the knee. If I was okay, I don't believe Ciryl Gane's going to win, but I'm going to tell you, if he is going to win, this is how he has to win. He has to keep the distance. He has to also fight dirty. Go at those knees. Go at those knees. Go at those knees. Don't let him take you down. He's got to fight a fight like what I would look at if I was him, is I would look at Alexander's fight. Keep him standing. Keep on getting up. But Alexander trained with Dominic Cruz, and they had a game plan. So let's hope he has a game plan. Who do you like?
That was a good breakdown. Everybody says he's been out 3.5 years, or however long that Jon Jones has been out. But you never seen him get out of shape, and some of the things that were said as far as him putting on the weight right over a period of time that was realistic, not just getting fat and then turning it into muscle, but to build the muscle layers, and to increase the bulk. That's a different way of doing it, because then you got like solid through the layers, you know what I mean? And that's a great way to do it. That's a better way to do it than to try to put it all on and then turn fat into muscle. So he did it right. He said he's got a lot to prove with the haters and everybody else. Gane he's got great movement, but so does Jon Jones. They both have good movement. If Jon Jones gets Gane against the cage, he's got some insane elbows, man. Jon Jones is going to hurt him. He's going to hurt him bad if he gets him against that cage, and Ciryl Gane can't get out of that. Or if he gets grounded by Jones has got some hellacious elbows from the top. He's slicing and dicing, man. He's like the old, K-Tel Cuisinart, man. He's slicing you up, and
Is that what you're talking about? The chopper?
Freaking chopper, man. And you come up and your face is all rearranged and whatnot. But Ciryl Gane does. I think he's got a higher chance than 10% to win this fight, because we don't know how Jon Jones will handle that weight and how his movement, because he was fast, but now he's got a lot more muscle to move around. I've never questioned his gas tank, so I won't question it now. But you have to look at, he is 3.5 years older too, right? What was the age on both of these guys?
Jones is 35. Ciryl is 32.
Okay.
The other thing is, going this weight class, always the smaller guy going up to fight for the title wins. Like, you had DC, you had Mr. America, Randy Couture, and now it'll be Jon Jones. Okay. And the only thing is, they asked him, well, how do you feel coming to Vegas? A lot of stuff. And he got really upset and said, next question. I don't want to talk about my extra activities. Okay.
Who was he talking? Oh, that was Jones.
Yeah.
Well, somebody else said about Jon Jones that it was Cody Garbrandt. He said, when you watch Jones, he always brings it when he's in the cage. He brings it, regardless of what the outside antics is. He brings it when he's in the cage, and I believe he's going to do that this time. I'm going to still pick Jon Jones to win this. I don't think, and then looking at the odds that are on the UFC site, Jones is at -165 and Ciryl Gane is at +140. So it's not that big of a spread.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people see this fight differently, and they see it closer than you do. I don't know if I see it that close, but I think Ciryl Gane does have a chance to win this fight. Because Jones has been hurt before by Alexander Gustafsson and Reyes. He's been hurt pretty bad by both of those dudes. So he is hittable. But I think that Jones hits a lot harder than Gane. And
Yes.
his jabs, Gane has some pretty good jabs. You gotta admit, he's got some pretty good jabs. I just don't know about his wrestling game. Not sure about that.
Yeah, I think that Jones is gonna wrestle him, take him to the ground. Hopefully he can take him down. I mean, I believe he can. I mean, he took down DC, and DC is probably the best wrestler in both of those weight classes.
Yeah, that's true. And so here's the danger for Gane. If he keeps the standing, he's in danger because of those oblique kicks and because Jones can throw elbows from a distance. He looks like he's coming to throw a punch. Yeah, but he looks like he's coming to throw a punch. That's a good point, because he's doing this and you're looking at the hand, and then he goes boom, and he can do that. So fighting on the feet is dangerous for Gane, and fighting on the ground is dangerous for Gane.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you believe there will be an eye poke in this fight from Jon Jones?
There'll probably be an eye poke and a groin kick
from Jon Jones. Okay.
No, yeah, probably.
Okay, I just want to, Quentin Rampage said the reason they changed the gloves to be more like this is because of Jon Jones.
Hey, all they can do is take a point. If he does it, and if he does it multiple times, they'll disqualify him. So I guess it's up to the ref if he sees him being blatant. The last weekend's fight, the dude bit the guy's finger.
What fight was that?
It was the Dagestani dude. I can't remember his name. But yeah, I think he was fish hooking him or sticking his fingers in the mouth. And that's who said, "I'm going to bite your finger, man." And it bit him, and he lost a point, but he still won the fight.
Jeez.
So I'm sure there's when they're fighting, and it's your life or his life, because I think a lot of those guys, when you're in there, when you hear fighters walking to the cage and they always question themselves, "What am I doing here? Why am I doing this?" Until they get in the octagon. And I think likewise, when you're in there fighting and you're getting beat up or you're beating somebody up, the animal comes out in you. You know what I mean? And so you're doing whatever you can to fight. I don't think he's thinking, "Okay, I'm going to poke his eyeball and then I'm going to do this." I think they're just, there's no such thing as a fair street fight, and I think sometimes they fall into that mentality of survival. I've got to survive this fight, especially if they get hurt. I need to buy me some time. Oop, there goes a groin kick, and I got 3 minutes rest while this guy's recovering. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, we want to thank you for joining us on this little journey of UFC 285. A lot to talk about and good inside analysis. Nando, thank you again for the stats. But I thought our conversation about this was a lot of fun. And you guys tune into this card because it's a slobber knocker. as our friends.
And then this is
from
going to be a
WWE.
big fight month because right after this, 2 weeks after this, Usman Edwards.
Yep, yep. And so yeah, and there's a number of fights on this card. So they do have backups. I know that if somebody gets
Sergey is the backup for
who
the
is
Sergey is the backup for the main event.
oh, is that right? Wow, he's a brave dude, man. Good for him. Good
Yeah,
for
he's
him.
gonna. Well, I mean, he can make weight. You know, you
Yeah,
never know.
he could walk out of there a champion. You never know. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching MMA or Knuckle Sandwich MMA. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until we see you guys, we're going to do a recap of this card, by the way, next week because it's just too big. Okay, so we're going to have to do a recap, and then we'll also cover the next card coming up. So lots to cover, and we're still working on our athlete series of getting that going and talking to some fighters and coaches and different athletes of different sports as well. So we're looking forward to that. Nando, thanks again for your time, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.